Shalom, all praise Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. We're going to get into grafting in, something just looking up, listen to the apostles of Great Millstone. He said apple trees are members of the Roseae or rose family, while orange trees are part of the Roseae family. Grafting a branch from one tree to another requires that they be closely related so that the bark and sapwood grow together successfully. Thus, apples and oranges are not compatible for grafting. No, Scripture says, even nature itself shall teach you. Every seed is made for its own kind. And prove that, go to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 11. 1 second. Just to prove that every seed should be for its kind. Go to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit, after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and a tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. The same way as men, you are what your father are. Go to Genesis chapter 12 and verse 7. And the Yahweh appeared unto Abraham, which is Abraham before his name was changed, and said, unto thy seed would I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Yahweh, who appeared unto him. Continue on in Genesis chapter 13 and verse 15, explaining more on the seed of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, which is the tree. For all the land which thou seest to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered. Stay in Genesis for a little bit. Genesis chapter 17 and verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee and their generations for an everlasting covenant, not temporary, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. Verse 8. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, which became Jerusalem. Canaan was Hamites for an everlasting possession, and I will be their power. And power said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee and their generations. I'm going to skip to Genesis. Stay in Genesis. Just skip in Genesis 26, verse 3 and 4. Get into Isaac. Quick precepts. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee. And I will bless thee, for unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries. And I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. The covenant only goes to the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven. And I will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Continue on in Genesis chapter 46 and verse 6. And they took their cattle and their goods which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Egypt, Jacob and all his seed with him, his sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought he with him into Egypt. All the seed of Israel, no other nation can be a part of the house of Israel. This is the second book of Ezra, chapter 3 and 19. And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire and earthquake and of wind and of cold. And thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob, and the gents unto the generations of Israel. Is it give the law unto the seed of Jacob, and the gents unto the generations of Israel. So-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics need to start caring about these nations. They don't give a damn about you. Matthew chapter 15 and verse 21. Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. 24 is the point, but I want to get some precepts. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Yahweh, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vested with a devil. Earlier went through the precepts about the seed of Abraham, the seed of Isaac, the seed of Israel. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she cried after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You know, that whole grafted in, what the Apostle Paul was saying, and the wild idolatry was grafted in. Basically, it's Israel coming back to their heritage, man. You know, because we turn from the Most High. Jeremiah 11, verse 10 and verse 11. They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers. That's being unclean. And earlier Jeremiah 2 and 21, it said, the germinate plant which refused to hear my words, they went after other gods to serve them. That's being unclean again. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I made with their fathers. We left our heritage. Therefore, thus said the Yahweh, Behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape, though they shall cry unto me. I will not hearken unto them. Once again, that whole degenerate plant, that was Israel. Israel leaving their heritage, and Israel being wild because we went to idolatry, went to idol worshiping, following the heathen ways, being whatever religion was a part of, and just coming back to our heritage. And with that, I give our praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakadash, double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, teaching rule well.